everyone, and welcome to the PNC podcast. My name is Mohadisa, and alongside me I have Clementine.
Hello.
Today we have a very special guest. Please welcome the Chief Executive for the Department of Education, Rick Persse.
Thank you so much. This is so exciting. I'm very nervous. Okay, I'll try not to, do anything too silly.
So how are you today?
I'm excellent. It's been a good day. The sun's shining, which is very unusual at the moment.
Yes.
And I've just had a great tour of the school and met some of the awesome kids. So now I'm ready to do this. I'm excited.
Yes, it is. Great weather today, isn't it?
Awesome.
It is. It's
Beautiful
great,
day.
yes.
Really great.
Sun's out. Everyone feels better when the sun's out. Last week of winter?
I think.
Yeah,
I think
so
it
too,
is.
yes.
I think it is. Okay.
So, first question. Can you tell us about your journey through school and the choices you've made?
Sure. So I went to a fair few different schools because my family moved around a lot. So I was born in Adelaide, but then we moved to Canberra and then Melbourne and then back to Adelaide and then back to Melbourne. So my memories of school were changing schools about every 18 months.
Oh, gosh.
Which was a bit stressful, but what it meant is you had to learn to be outgoing and make new friends,
open
and
to everyone.
Exactly.
Yes.
So it was good. My favourite subjects were probably English and history and geography. I wasn't great at maths. I was okay, not great.
Why did you favourite those subjects?
I liked reading. I still love reading, so I read to relax every night. I just like reading anything, but mainly fiction now.
Yeah.
So it's just something I've always enjoyed, and it seems to have rubbed off on my kids. So my kids love reading as well, and as does my wife. So yeah, we have a lot of books in the house, and we try and encourage that with our kids, so they're not on the screens all day.
Yeah.
I know. Anyway.
As students in our school ministries, we are always interested in leadership qualities and which pathways lead to different careers. What led you to choose your career path and the job that you have today?
Well, it was pretty lucky, to be honest, because when I finished school, which was a long time ago, I didn't go straight to university because I was interested in surfing and football and so on. And so I just took a job in the public service. And so I used to collect the mail, run over to the post office, get the mail, come and open it up and drop it off again in the afternoon and all that sort of stuff. So, but then I did my study part-time. So I ended up doing my university study part-time, and I just found myself really falling in love with the public service and what it tries to do for communities and so on. And then, so I kind of always kept putting my hand up for new opportunities and difficult projects and so on. And that made me get better at it. And then maybe 10 years ago, I resigned and I went to work in the private sector. I went to work for a big company called PricewaterhouseCoopers. And really enjoyed that and learnt some stuff. And then I got invited to come back to government to be the chief executive of a government agency called the Attorney General's Department, which is it's like the big law firm for the state. And so I did that for 4 years, and then I got asked to come to education, which was just over 4 years ago, and I love it. It's the best job I've ever had.
What sparked your interest when you found out that you really wanted to go for that kind of job?
I think with education, I don't think there's anything more important in any society than education.
Yeah.
I think that, I'm fully intending that you are going to be making sure that my life and the future lives of future generations is awesome. And the way that we can do that is to make sure that you have a world-class education. So our ambition is for every kid in South Australia to have the most amount of options when they leave school.
Yeah.
Options to be going on to do further study, options to going straight into work and being a tradie or being a dancer or anything you want to do, I just want you to have the options to be able to do what you're passionate about.
Yeah, because people have different passions.
Yeah, and what our schools are so good at and getting even better at is that they're really focusing on achievement, which is important because achievement gives you options.
Yes.
But they're also really focused on your capabilities, to be resilient, to be creative, to be critical thinkers, and also your values, to be kind, to be inclusive.
Yeah.
So I just think that we're helping to shape what our community looks like. That's why I think education is the best job I'll ever have. So, but I'm lucky. I've got like thousands of people who do all the important work. So all the principals, all the teachers, all the SSOs, all the everything. Like we have 31,000 employees. We've got 25,000 volunteers. We've got 900 schools and preschools.
Wow, that's
So yeah, like we're big.
yeah.
So I don't like to think about it sometimes because it makes me want to just go and stand in the corner for a minute. But so what we do is we work through our people and they work through their people. And if we can work together, then what's happening at Prospect North can be influenced by what's happening in Mount Gambier, and it can be influencing what's happening in the APY lands.
Yeah.
And so when we connect up, we can be so much greater than the sum of the parts. So I think it's exciting.
Yes, that is very exciting. Was there a significant adult or teacher who mentored you along the way?
I didn't have any kind of one person that was sort of like my hero. If I did, it was probably my parents. But what I've always liked to do is sort of take a little bits from lots of different people.
Yeah.
And that can be not only people that are more senior than you, that can be people who work for you or people who work for somebody who works for somebody who works for you. And so I tend to take my motivation out of seeing what people are doing to make a difference. So I think that I think people have to be their own style of leader. And sometimes that will be fashioned by observing things that have gone really well and sometimes observing things that are not so good. And you go, I hope I never make that mistake. So it's all about taking in bits and pieces and then applying it to your own leadership style. But I think if you try, like if I turned around and said, I want to be a leader like the Prime Minister or the Premier, that's their style. I have to have my style because I think the most important thing about being a leader is you have to be authentic.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, you're an actor.
Yeah.
And I'd forget my lines if I was an actor. So I think it's easier that I just be myself and try and learn some experiences along the way.
Did you find yourself observing a lot of what other people were doing
All the
in your
time.
environment?
All the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you've got to be a learner. That's the best way I can describe it. And I think anyone, doesn't matter how senior you get, whether you're the Premier or the Prime Minister or the CEO of the department or the principal of the school, if you think that you cannot be improved upon, just give up, right? Nobody's perfect. Everyone's capable of growth. Everyone's capable of innovation and adapting to new environments and finding a new problem. I mean, look at 2020, COVID.
Yeah.
You know, we haven't been there. We're having to kind of not make it up as we go, but we're having to learn things like the police commissioner. He's never been in a situation like this, and Nicola Spurrier and what she's doing, and the Premier. And so I think those people are all people who are prepared to embrace new ideas, listen to new evidence, listen to new concepts.
Yeah.
If someone went through that thinking they had the answers, I think we'd be in a bad spot.
Yeah, because they could learn like something from everyone. Like
Totally. And even sometimes that learning is, let's not do that.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
At our school, we learn through personal investigation, inquiry, and embedded STEM practices. How important do you think STEM skills and innovation are for schools and for our future?
I think they're integral. I was literally just with your year ones who were talking about the symbiotic relationship between algae and goby fish on the Great Barrier Reef, which I need to now have a talk to my son to see whether he can explain or even spell symbiotic. And he's in year 10. I'll talk to you when I get home, Campbell. But I think it's important. So STEM, and sometimes there's people spell STEM with 2 M's now because they're adding mathematics and medicine into it. And then there's STEAM where they add arts into it. They're so important, right? And what we know is that traditionally there are different cohorts of kids who check out of traditional STEM subjects
Yeah.
for no real reason. So traditionally girls generally have not kind of stuck with maths, even though the highest achieving maths students in the state are quite often girls. But it comes down to stereotypes. It comes down to different educational practice about how engaging it is. So how meaningful is it? Like when I was doing maths back, a million years ago, it was all just on the blackboard and we were doing this and solve for X and it was all boring. And now your teachers are so skilled. They can use technology, they can apply it in a real life setting. It means it's relevant. And then what we expect for you guys is you guys are inventing the jobs going forward, right? I'm not here to say what you're going to be doing in your career. You can shape your career.
Yeah.
Your career is going to look so different to mine, but it'll be so exciting, and you will get to design it.
Are you
Having those
excited to
skills,
see the
having those
future?
options.
Yeah.
I am. Oh, yeah. Yeah, because you guys are going to be looking after me, so it's going to be good. I am excited. Look, I think at the moment, I've been doing a lot of school visits lately, and there's no doubt that COVID has, it's just getting on people's nerves, and I understand why.
Yeah.
But we're going to get through this. We're going to be okay. It's going to be a bit lame for a while, and we're going to have to make changes, but already the adoption of new technology, what you guys are doing here is just amazing.
Sure.
The way you're getting your message out, the way you're engaging with people, how professionally you've set this up.
Thank you.
It's so cool. And everyone who's being interviewed is bragging about it. You've got to get on the Prospect North podcast. So here I am. So I'm very excited about it. The economy is going to look a bit different. The jobs are going to look a bit different.
Yeah.
But that's how communities evolve. That's how economies evolve. For every part of the economy that COVID's done damage to, there's something else that's popping up.
Yeah.
And if you guys have the skills and all the capabilities that your teachers are working with you on, you're going to be able to just slide in, fit in, see the opportunity, grab it. It's going to be awesome.
The education provided by a school definitely makes our futures looking bright. So
Yes.
Oh yeah. No, you're at a
No,
great
they're great,
school,
yeah.
yeah.
and as I say, we've got schools all around this state, big and little. We're investing in them. We've put huge kind of money into internet access and so on, professional development for the teachers, more resources, more technology.
Yeah.
We just want to make sure that you guys have everything that you need. Your principal and your teachers have everything that you need to be able to be coming out of school with real momentum and options. That's what we want.
Yeah.
Then we're going to be happy.
Is there any final advice about learning that you would give to young people in primary education today?
To work hard.
Yeah.
To not find excuses. I think there are some traditional messages around education that are still important. I want people to be brave. I want people to push themselves. People are at different stages in their learning and their development, and some kids will get stuck on particular things and then they'll get it and then they'll move forward really fast. You'd see that in your classes, yeah?
Yeah.
So some kids, I feel like they just need to aim high because you'll never regret it.
Yeah.
You'll never regret it.
No.
And it'll pay off in the long runs in a way that we can't even see now. So, but it's also about making sure that you are looking out for your friends and your classmates and your families. It's about making sure that you carry yourself as leaders. You're leaders in this school, aren't you? Year 7s.
Yeah, we have a lot
Yes.
of leadership in the school.
Yeah. You've got a responsibility, right? You set culture. You set values. You help your teachers. So there's kind of a leadership at every level that goes on. But I like to have big goals and big dreams. So we have big goals and big dreams in this department, and so we aim really high.
Yeah.
You know, and it's okay to have a little bit of a struggle with it, because if it was easy, then everyone would be doing it.
Yeah, no one would learn if it was easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, you know, some of that, you asked me before about people that have been good mentors. Probably some of the people that I've looked back on didn't feel like it at the time, people who pushed me very hard, not as in, you know, work harder or longer hours or something, but
Yeah.
expected me to do something that I couldn't just naturally do. I had to work
You
at
had
it.
to, yes.
Got to stretch.
Yes.
That's what I would suggest.
Did you know this when you were our age, to work hard?
I think you guys are way more mature and thoughtful about it than I was at your age. My dad's gone now, but if I asked my dad about whether he thought I was hardworking at your age, he would have just laughed. But no, I don't think I was. So, I mean, that's a credit to you and your school and your families about the way you're carrying yourself. That's what I mean about setting the tone. You can set the tone in this school, and you're doing it. You're setting the tone for other schools about the way you're producing this media. People will look up to it. People will aspire to it. Okay.
Yeah.
But I think you guys. If I was putting myself against you two at this age, yeah, I think you guys are way ahead.
Yeah, 'cause like we have different resources and like better opportunities as well.
Yeah, but it's also
Yeah.
your mindset. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah, definitely, yes.
And
Yeah.
our educators work on mindset and positive behaviour, and
Yeah.
that's what I mean about those capabilities. You know, teaching nowadays compared to when I went to school,
Very
like
different.
It was,
Very different.
yeah, it was. It's not that it was boring, but it was. They just. It was chalk and talk. That's what they used to call it. They'd stand up the front and they'd write stuff on the board, and you'd either engage with it, or you'd be down the back mucking around.
It wouldn't really get the best out of students, would it?
It left some students behind.
Some, yes.
So what teachers do now that teachers didn't do back then is they differentiate, right? So they notice what's going on. Remember trying to do this with like 20, 30 kids in a room. Imagine trying to do that. Imagine trying to differentiate for 30 different kids
Yeah.
all the time. I mean, they're like seeing the whole board, aren't they? They're
Yeah.
like playing chess.
Yes.
And they will push you because you're ready to be pushed, and maybe we'll work with you on this particular point. That's the skill. And in my experience, what I see now in schools and preschools is that ability to kind of personalise the learning. Amazing.
Yeah. It's definitely upgraded and really brought some change to.
Yeah, and you
today.
see it. I mean, you see it in the high schools too. So
Yeah.
you guys are about to go on the next step.
Kind of scary.
It is.
It's going to be fine. It was funny. I was down in Panola last week, down in the Coonawarra, and I was talking to their year 12s. They only have 9 of them.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not a very big school. And they were saying how the year 8s just walk around the school with all this swag, and they don't pay attention to their elders.
Yeah.
And I'm going, okay, yeah. That's kind of my experience with year 7s going in. They'll be fine. They'll be running the school.
Yeah. Well, we'd better wrap it up now, but thank you so much for your time.
No worries.
It was a brilliant experience coming and talking with you today.
Hey, thank you. Same.
And yes, just thank you again.
All right.
And, PNC podcast out.
Okay. Thanks, guys.